Welcome to Great Lakes Sasquatch, Squatch fans. Today's story is from Wisconsin. Our witness has a lot of experience researching Sasquatch and had a very interesting encounter back in 2019. If you enjoy today's encounter story, please stomp on that like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can get more content just like this. Now here's today's encounter story. Handfuls of rocks thrown at a camper near Squamigan National Forest. For some background, I live in Wausau, Wisconsin, and have been interested in Sasquatch my entire life. I have been a hunter for 44 years and know sounds, footprints, and behavior of just about every creature in Wisconsin. I've always wanted to become involved in actively looking for Sasquatch. In 2015, I started researching sightings and incidents in Wisconsin and discovered the northern third of the state had many reports in Phillips, Prentiss, and Price counties and the Squamigan-Nicollet National Forest. My husband is also interested, so we decided to research areas of some of the reported sightings. We spent a great deal of time walking around in the Squamigan Forest off of Highway 17 near Winter, Wisconsin. We documented our findings using video cams and photographs. I have a photo of what I believe is a Sasquatch print in the forest near some tree bends and a small ground glyph that was about 5 yards from the print. A year later, we discovered that the glyph had been modified with additional sticks and limbs. We have photographs of tree bends and breaks, as well as trees woven together in a way that no human can manage. Since 2015, we've actively returned to the same areas of the forest to see if there are changes or anything new. I have also had a response to a wood knock that I did in the summer of 2018. The area of the return knock is in an area that has no homes, roads, or trails. Now, on to the encounter story. Beginning in 2016, my oldest sister, my daughter, and I decided to set up camp near Loretta, and each summer we would spend time camping, actively researching, and have many photographs. On June 6th through 9th, 2019, we once again set up our camp in the same campground, but in a different site that we had not used before. This site was at the end of the row on the southwest side of the camp. There's nothing for miles behind that spot. We did not see anything unusual when we hiked the Squamigan earlier in the day, but on our last night, a bear walked through our campsite just before dark. Because of this, we decided to hit the bunks early. It was around 10 to 10:30 p.m. when I heard a rustling around the camper. It's a modified camper with a deck that has a zipper tent extending from the camper with tarp material around the bottom. The creature was crinkling and fiddling around with the bottom portion of the extended porch and making the tarp crackle. I thought the bear had returned and was rustling around camp. I expected the camp to be destroyed the next morning. This noise went on for about half an hour and then it stopped. My daughter and sister were asleep. Less than 30 minutes later, a handful of rocks hit the side of the camper, followed by 3 more rounds of rocks, and finally, a larger rock hit the camper roof. This woke my sister, who sleeps with earplugs. She later said she does not know why she woke, but I believe it was the sound of the big rock hitting above her head. By then, my daughter was awake as well. It was quiet the rest of the night. The next morning, when it was light, I bailed out of the camper, expecting to see a ripped-up camp, but all was pristine. The first morning at the camp, my daughter set up a hammock behind and slightly to the side of the back of the camper. When she was taking it down, she found a rock in the hammock. My theory is that whatever threw rocks had to lob them over her hammock. One either bounced back and fell into the hammock or pinged off the tree and landed in the hammock. We were the only campers in the campground, except for a man that came in with his rig. He left the next morning. Many areas around the area have tree bends, twists, a possible footprint, all in the Chequamegon Forest, just east and north of the campground, where the rock throwing incident occurred. BFRO investigator B. Breedlove did a follow-up investigation report. This is what it says. The witness was credible, and this is definitely the type of topography and food sources that could support a large creature such as a Sasquatch. There have been numerous reports of activity in north-central Wisconsin. The witness also shared pictures of noteworthy tree structures and ground glyphs nearby. The footprint was less conclusive. It is unfortunate that the witness did not have casting material, as photos do not always provide the needed detail. While a bear could have been responsible for the rustling, only a Sasquatch or a human have the opposable thumbs required to hurl rocks. There was only one other human in the camp. Unauthorized human visitors could also be suspect, but it is widely known that gun carry permits are the rule, not the exception. A human hurling rocks would likely know they would be endangering their life. It is noteworthy that the campers did not have interaction until they set up in the most remote part of the camp. It was easy for a Sasquatch to approach out of the woods, and perhaps the Sasquatch felt that the campers were intruding too deeply upon his or her territory. Thank you so much for watching Great Lakes Sasquatch. If you enjoyed today's encounter story, please stomp on that like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can get more content just like this. Also, check out our website at greatlakessasquatch.com. If you have a Sasquatch encounter from the Great Lakes region that you'd like to share, you can submit it to us online at greatlakessasquatch.com. Check out our description box for links to some of our favorite Bigfoot channels and Squatchy friends. Hiker Dave, N.E. Bigfoot, PacWest Bigfoot, Washington Bigfoot, Bigfoot Case Files, and Cam over at Dixie Cryptid. Have a great day and happy squatching!